go ahead and find your mat, find your comfortable spot on the mat. If you want to sit on a block, awesome. If you want to sit on a blanket, knees folded, straight out in front of you, whatever you prefer. We are just going to get started. So whichever way you're sitting right now, let's really just take a moment. Maybe close your eyes for just a moment. Feel those sit bones. And then think about the base of your sit bones, your tailbone, and think about your spine and that long line of energy from your base coming out through the top of your head. So I almost think of like the marionette puppets. Remember the marionette puppets, not the scary ones, you know? I don't need anybody to have that visual. But just think of that string coming out of the top of your head. So you're getting this nice, long, strong spine, long, strong posture, right? So when we sit in seated, of course, you know, we're strengthening all of our muscles as we do it, as well as opening our hips. All right, but let's just take a few deep breaths, and as we do, let's lift those hands up to the ceilings, bring those fingertips to touch. Exhale, release them down. Again, a deep inhale. Bringing those hands up. If you want to lift your gaze up to your fingertips, you're welcome to. Exhale down. Maybe you bring your chin to the chest when you come down. Inhale those fingertips up and touch if that's comfortable. Lift your gaze, lift your chin. Exhale, release down. Maybe drop that chin to the chest. Few more. Inhale, fingertips up to touch. Exhale, release them down. And one more. Let's inhale, lift that gaze, lift the chin, and let's bring those hands through heart center and let them come to rest. Now, let's just take a few of do a few of our one-to-one breathing exercises, so to speak, together, okay? So, let's take a deep inhale, and then we're going to do a nice open mouth exhale, okay? So take a deep inhale, and as we inhale, maybe those shoulders come up to the ears, and now just a deep exhale. Let everything out. Again, a deep inhale, and an exhale. And then again, another deep inhale, bring everything up, maybe even bring those shoulders up, and a deep exhale. Exhale completely. All right, now let's take a moment. Maybe you want to close your eyes for a moment, and we're just going to come either to our natural breath or join me on a few of our one-to-one breaths. And we're going to take a deep inhale to a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold for a second. And a slow exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pause there and another deep inhale. 1, 2, keep filling up. 3, 4, keep filling up. 5 this time. Hold. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, just take a moment there now to either stick with that one-to-one breathing or come into your own breath pattern for a minute. Today, I am going to come back to the quote that I shared on Wednesday because I think it has so much meaning and so much relevance for where we all are in this little goofy world right now, big old goofy world, as John Prine would say, right? And I think it comes back to my head because, of course, I hear this in the morning by Rabindranath Tagore. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. I think when we have this uncertain time that we're living in now, it's a good parallel to how we all come into the day, that sometimes we feel that light right away, but sometimes we wake up and feel that darkness, but we begin to move forward, right? We begin to move into that day with faith and with hope. Just like the birds, even within the darkness, we could begin to move forward. So I think it's an awesome quote. My friend Susan Forsyth shared that, and I thought, oh man, that's beautiful. All right, and now moving into the light. Let's begin to move as well, all right? So let's just bring those shoulders up to the ears and then really release them down and back, okay? Up to the ears and down and back. And a few more up to the ears, down and back. Up to the ears and down and back. Now go ahead, you're welcome to open your eyes if they were closed, or keep them closed for a little bit longer. We're just going to open up that neck a little bit by letting the right ear float to the right shoulder. We might want to add that hand on top of the head, not to push the head, just to provide some weight. If you also want to add the opposite arm out to the side at an angle. Maybe you want to wiggle those fingertips. Maybe you want to bring those fingertips up towards the sky. And let's release that down. Let's gently let the other ear float to the other shoulder. And again, maybe we're going to add that hand. Send that arm out to the side at an angle if you wish. Wiggle those fingertips. Maybe you want to point them up towards the ceiling. You can feel that what a different stretch that is on your arm. If that's a good stretch for you, awesome. If not, right? If it doesn't feel good, don't do it, right? All right, let's release that down. Let's just drop that chin to the chest one more time like we did in our breath. And lift that up. All right, let's go ahead and bring our arms just straight out in front of us. Kind of our shoulders are plugged in, but our arms are out in front of us. Bring the back of our hands to touch. And then we're going to bring our arms around behind us, interlacing our fingertips, okay? And opening those shoulders by rolling them down and back, opening that heart, lifting that gaze, all right? When your fingertips are laced together behind you, maybe your palms are touching and you get a different opening from there. Maybe that isn't comfortable and you wish to have it almost more in a little shelf, right? That's fine as well. The other thing you can do is put your fingertips on the ground. You kind of walk them back. So either way, we're just opening that heart, keeping that breath going, all right? Really open those shoulders, open that heart. Awesome. Now let's release that down. Let's get a little bit of a lateral stretch going, all right? So go ahead and place your right hand on the ground. Okay, we've still got this nice long spine. Inhale that left arm up, and let's let it float over. Still keeping both of those sit bones ground into the mat. Now let's release that hand down. Let's come over on the other side. We're going to flow back and forth a little bit here. If you prefer just to stay in one side or the other, please do that. Keep those sit bones still in contact with the mat. One more each side, then we'll meet in the center. And we'll go into that lateral stretch that's a little deeper if you wish. If not, you can stay with the lateral flow by going ahead and planting that elbow on the mat. That palm comes down to the mat. The opposite sit bone comes off the mat, that's perfect. We just skim that hand right by our face, and then our stretch comes from slowly easing that opposite sit bone towards the mat. Oh gosh, I haven't done this one for so long. I just love this one. You really feel that deep opening, that deep stretch in your hip. All right, let's let that top hand come through the middle, bringing us up center, and let's go to the other side, planting that elbow, planting that hand. Sit bone comes off, skim the opposite hand right by that ear, okay? And then just work to ease that opposite hip open. Awesome. Now swing that hand down. Let's come through the middle. Roll those shoulders a little bit of spinal twisting next, right? Okay, let's inhale those arms up high. On the exhale, let's bring them center and just begin that twisting, okay? Choose either side to go to, all right? Twisting through your belly, your ribs, your shoulders. Let that front arm come down to your knee. That back arm can walk behind you. If you're in a chair, obviously same thing. And as you inhale, really try to find length in that spine. Gazes towards the back. Keep breathing. Roll those shoulders, twisting again to the other side. Inhale those arms out to the side, and on the exhale, begin that twisting through your belly, your ribs, your shoulders. No rush. Take all the time you want to make sure you're really allowing that whole spine to twist, right? We're gently wringing it out like we would a dish rag, right? And allowing the light to come back in. Awesome, let's release that and come center. All right, now we're gonna move into cow and cat. So options, stay in a seated cow and cat, or meet me on the mat in all fours. Or if you're on a chair, obviously chair cow cat. So either way, it's excellent, right? Okay? The other thing, if you're seated, you can also put your hands out in front of you to get a longer stretch. All right, if you are on all fours, take this moment, right, to find connection with the tops of your feet to the mat. Maybe you want that blanket or towel under your knees. And I'm going to ask you to really look at your fingers for a minute and really focus on your fingers. And really concentrate on pushing into your fingers and feel the release of the weight on your wrist. All right, so much of what we do, we're working on strengthening our wrist, but when we're in these all fours or these down dogs or these planks, we're really building that awareness of how we can push into the knuckles of our fingers and our fingers so that we take the weight off of the wrist. All right? From here, on your next inhale, let's go ahead and drop that belly, lift that gaze for cow. If you're seated, same thing. Now this time, let's just start from the tail. Let's curl from the tail first, pulling that belly button into the spine as we start rounding till we get all the way up to the shoulders and the chin tucks in for cat. Now let's stay here for a few breaths. And on your next exhale, we're going to prepare, and then on our inhale, we're going to drop that belly for cow. Exhale, tuck that tail, find your cat, and now begin to find some movement, all right? Following your own breath for your cows and your cats. Maybe you want to stay in one longer than the other. All right, we're strengthening our abs, our back, allowing that spine to have flexion and extension. Do just a couple more. And we are going to meet in that neutral tabletop. Joints are stacked. Go ahead and curl your toes under just a second, all right? And just come back partially. We're not going to sit back on our heels, but we're just stretching out our feet a little bit. Then come forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. All right, now let's let the tops of the feet go flat again, those shoelaces to the mat, right? We're going to move into spinal balance, so either from all fours or on your back, all right? And today we're going to do a real slow spinal balance. So we're going to inhale that right arm high, thumb to the sky, hand as if we're shaking, which I guess we wouldn't be doing now. And then let's go ahead and lift that left leg. Dial those toes down to the ground. Pull that belly in, right? So we're lifting from the belly. That belly is coming in with a strong back again, strengthening our back, strengthening our abs, toning our legs, and we're holding. Okay, gaze is down, neck is long. Again, back toes are dialed down. And now let's release that. We'll move to the opposite side. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Belly is pulled in. And breathe. With that hand that's on the mat, focus on pushing into those fingertips again to lift off of the wrist. Let's release that down. One more on each side, very slowly moving up. Again, pulling that belly in. Long spine. Think about the length you have from your tail all the way up to your crown. And release. Awesome. Other side. Lifting, lifting. Awesome. Let's release that down. Now go ahead and bring your big toes to touch. Knees as wide as the mat. And float back into that child's pose for just a few breaths. All right, let those hands come out long in front of you if you want. Forehead coming down towards your mat. And breathe. Another option for this is obviously seated child's pose, either in a chair or on the mat. Right? Now let's go ahead and come up on all fours. Leave those hands out just a little bit further in front of you because we're going to move into that first down dog by curling those toes under, sending those hips up and back. All right, take a moment to look at your hands. Your hands can be as wide as the mat, okay? So we've got this whole mat to use. Go ahead and begin to pedal out your dog. Or if you prefer, go ahead and stay in stillness, right? Ooh. I don't know about you, my toes are cracking. My ankles are cracking too. The good cracking. Just like we did in cat and cow or tabletop, focus on your fingers for a second and really clawing into those fingers, the knuckles, to lift the tension off of the wrist.
the weight, all of the weight off of the wrist. So you're not bearing it all in your wrist, right? You're always going to have some. All right, now let's go ahead and bring our big toes to touch. So we've got this narrow stance, and we're going to walk up in baby steps, all right? So just baby steps, really slowly, 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 coming up till we get to that forward fold, all right? Feet can be, big toes can still be touching, or they can be hip distance, your preference. Go ahead and make sure you allow that bend in your knees, right? We want to try to release those hamstrings, and if we straighten our legs and lock them in, it usually isn't going to allow us to do that right away. Let's shake that head, yes. Shake that head, no. Come on back to yes. Come on back. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Remember that? All right, now if your feet are really close, let's go ahead and just bring them about hip distance apart. When we think of hip distance, we're really talking about our hip bones, not where maybe we think of our hips ending, but where the bones actually are. And we're going to move into that ragdoll forward fold. Again, still allowing those knees to be bent as much as you'd like. Go ahead and make that little picture frame for your head so your arms are by your ears. And then we're just going to gently move any amount side to side. The lower half of our body is fixed in place. And the movement is really coming from our ribs up. Okay. So we're really, our feet are firmly planted. We're lifting through those arches. All right, now let's go ahead and come back to center. Now, bend your knees as much as you want so that you can get your fingertips on the floor, okay? And walk them out a little bit in front of you because we are just going to rock up on those toes a little bit. Preparing, of course, for hummingbird. You all know I'm on a hummingbird bend right now, right? I won't make us do hummingbird pose all summer, you know, just a week or two. All right, now release those heels down again. We're going to slowly walk up to our first forward fold. You're probably thinking, oh, thank goodness, let's get a little more upright. Halfway upright, as we call it. Did I say forward fold? I meant half lift. All right, find that long number 7 spine. You think about down dog right now, or you think about tabletop, right? It's the same thing. We're keeping this long spine. Belly is pulled in. Long line of energy from our crown to our tail. Let's release that down. Put a bend in those knees. Forward fold. All right, let's take another breath. And this time, let's just slowly roll up. Really slowly roll up. Since we've been upside down so long. Upside down and inversion is excellent for your complexion. I'm not making that up. I do make up some things, but I'm not making that up. All right. From here, let's bend those knees. Sweep those arms up. Find full length in that body. And when you're ready, let's swan dive into that forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Let's add those hummingbird arms, okay? So palms up to the sky. Exhale, come on down to forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. One more inhale, half lift, hummingbird arms. Wings, I guess. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, circle, sweep those arms up. Let's come up into that tall mountain. Exhale, cactus arms, open that heart. Continue to pull that belly in, tuck that tail under, breathe. Awesome, inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, chair, Utkatasana. Okay, nestle those shoulders in, okay? If you feel like they've gone up, just
roll them, kind of when you think when we roll them down and back, we're going to nestle those shoulders in. Hands can be lifted. If your feet are together, really squeeze those legs together. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift, add those hummingbird wings. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle sweep those arms up to toe numb. Exhale to baby back bend. Pull that belly in and we're just bending from the upper body. Come back to center. Exhale into chair, Utkatasana. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands to heart center. Dive down into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hummingbird wings. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle sweep those arms on up. Exhale, spinal twist gently, one side or the other. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, Utkatasana. Bring those shoulders down if they're coming up by your ears. All right, for 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hummingbird. Belly pulled in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees. Circle sweep those arms up. On the exhale, lateral bend either side. Hips, opposite hips can come on out. Center. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, Utkatasana. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now on this fold, just like we did in our warm-up, let's go ahead and just walk those fingertips forward. Put a bend in your knees, whatever you wish, so that your fingertips can be on the ground, okay? And let's just rock up on those toes again, preparing, of course, for our hummingbird. And let those heels lower. Let that head release, come up on all those toes. Heels lower. Now let's walk those hands back in. Let's slowly walk our hands up our legs. Roll those shoulders down and back. Fantastic. Let's move into warrior 1 on the right side. All right, so our right foot is forward. Maybe come more towards the top of your mat, right? Right foot is forward. Let's step back with that left foot. Square those hips forward. Adjust your stance. Awesome. Find your warrior 1 arms. We've got this big beach ball, right? Open up to cactus arms. Inhale, back to warrior 1. Now let's exhale. We're going to hinge at the hips, bend forward, and we're going to bring our arms through to find those hummingbird wings. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hummingbird wings as we hinge at the hips. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hummingbird wings. Inhale, warrior 1. Roll those wrists as we find our hands on our hips. Awesome. Let's move into Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. So we're going to shorten that stance a little bit. Okay? You can start with your hands on your hips if you prefer heart center right away, or you prefer them in the hummingbird or the airplane wings, you can do that right away. All right, begin to put a little bounce in that right leg. Okay, our leg is strong but not locked. And when you're ready, envision you've got a string on the back of your thigh, okay? Maybe a couple, if you have a long leg like I do. And we're just going to envision it being lifted up. And you can lift it a few inches off the ground. You can lift it all the way parallel to the ground, whatever you prefer.
All right, arms can come into airplane arms or hummingbird arms at your waist at heart center. Just for 3, 2, 1. Let's meet up in Utkatasana. Whew. Awesome. Let's go down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Let's bend those knees. Let's sweep our arms forward this time. And then let's roll our wrists down. Fantastic. Warrior one on the other side. So this time, our left foot is forward, right foot comes on back. Find your warrior one stance. Knee is over ankle, or be slightly behind. Hips are squared forward. Let's find that warrior one. Now let's open up the heart with our cactus arms, lifting our gaze, lifting our chin. Working on our balance. Let's come back centered. Now let those shoulders come down if they come up. Let's take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to hinge of the hips, bend forward, bringing our hummingbird arms back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hummingbird. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hummingbird arms. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hummingbird arms. And now let's inhale, warrior one. And again, roll those wrists one direction, the other, whichever you prefer. Let's find our hips. Getting ready for warrior three on this side, all right? So shorten your stance a little bit. Begin to bounce on that left leg. Maybe find your drishti in front of you, okay? When you're ready, again, those strings, we've got 2 strings on the back of your thigh, and it's just going to lift that leg up to whatever amount you wish. The back leg is strong and active. Arms can be in any of those options. For 3, 2, 1, and let's all meet in Utkatasana, chair pose. Awesome, let's bring those hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Circle sweep your arms up tall. Exhale, hands through heart center, Namaste. Moving into our hummingbird. I almost forgot, like all the lead up, and then we weren't going to do hummingbird, right? All right, let's find a little bend in those knees. Bring those arms out in front of us, back of our hands to touch as we wind them around. Interlace those hands. Roll those shoulders down and back. So we need our heart opener. Now we're going to hinge at the hips, bending forward a little bit. If your feet can be touching, big toes touching, that helps a little bit. Belly is pulled in. Now release those hands to your hummingbird wings. And when you are ready, we're just going to experiment with coming up on those toes. Like we're a little hummingbird at the feeder. And we're going to hold here. If you want to come down out of the hummingbird and then come back up, do that. Otherwise, we'll just stay here for a few more breaths. Neck is long. And let's release those heels down, meet back in Utkatasana. All right, for 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands to heart center. Now let's just bend those knees. Circle sweep those arms up. Come up to tall mountain. Take a breath here. Let the shoulders come down and back. And come up on those toes. Just like we did in hummingbird, except we're in this tall mountain. And release those hands through heart center. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, let's move into warrior two on our right side. All right, remember, if you need a drink, you need a little hummingbird nectar, You do it whenever you need to, okay? So, warrior two, our right foot is forward. We are gonna step back with our left foot. And when you're approaching warrior two this way, sometimes it helps to step back and then do some adjustments to widen your stance, okay? All right. Find that warrior two strong knee. Maybe today you go down just a touch further in that front leg, all right? Now, find that strong leg. Make sure you can see that front toe. Find that heel to arch alignment, and then those awesome warrior two arms. Gaze is soft but fused over that front middle finger. Shoulders are down. Okay? Find a little movement back and forth till you find your center. Oftentimes in warrior, we kind of lean forward a little bit. So find your center so your head is over heart, shoulders over hips, belly's pulled in as always, right? Fantastic. All right, now let's flip that front palm and really reverse that warrior. And let's take it up more into a peaceful warrior. So either stay in regular reverse warrior or go into more of a peaceful where you really open that arc a little more. Your choice. Let's come on back to warrior two. Moving into extended side angle. Let's really reach. We're opening that side body. Let that front arm come down. Back arm comes up and over. Gentle stretch. Remember, you always have the option of putting that hand behind your back in a bind if that feels better today. Now let's engage that Uddiyana Bandha, right? That abdominal lock. Pull that belly button in and up and come on back to that warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reverse that triangle. Again, opening up. A lot of our practice today is opening poses. Now from here, let's keep our triangle legs, okay? And we've got our arms out in our warrior two arms. Let's reach forward, okay? Finding that full triangle. Front leg is straight, but it's not locked, right? It has a little bend in it. Now either bring that hand down to your shin, to the floor, to a block. We're opening up that heart. All right, let's really push into the back edge of the knife edge of the back foot. Come on up, and now let's find that warrior two again. All right, let's release those hands down, roll those shoulders. Let's straighten that front leg. And let's bring that right foot around to the front. We're gonna bring our heels out, toes out, heels in, right? We're thinking of our goddess pose. All right, so roll those shoulders. When you're ready, inhale up into five-pointed star. Now, really pull that belly in, and maybe we're gonna take a little back bend in five-pointed star. You don't need to, but if you wanna open that heart a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and find our goddess, right? Knees are opening, okay? Slight tuck of that tail, we've got that goddess. Let's go ahead and place both hands on our knees right now. Okay, so we're in that goddess pose. Let's just bring that right arm up and over for a little lateral stretch. We're keeping our feet in goddess feet. Now let's come on back center. Opposite arm up and over, a little goddess lateral stretch. All right, one more on each side. So from the waist down, we're really not moving, okay? We're moving from that upper body. All right, let's come back to center. Let's inhale into that five-pointed star. Again, open that heart. Come back into goddess. This time, let's add some lateral flexion where we straighten that arm and straighten that leg, okay? A little more movement.
when I don't have music on. Usually when I have music on, I don't hear my own cracking and twisting and all those things. All right, do 1 or 2 more on each side, and we're going to meet in that 5-pointed star. When you are ready, open that heart and hold this strong, powerful pose. This is the pose that sees the light even when it's still dark. All right, let's release those hands down. Roll those wrists, roll those shoulders. Phew, you're probably thinking, right? Let's move into Warrior 2 on the left side. So we're gonna bring those back toes to be parallel to the back edge of the mat. Left foot, toes are facing the front edge of the mat. Do a little adjustment, right? Maybe try to bend this knee just a little bit more today, okay? Find that nice long Warrior 2. Head over heart, shoulders over hips, and then find those strong arms, right? Remember that those arms, when they're up, they're engaged and strong belly is pulled in. Let's flip that front palm and reverse that warrior, or go all the way over into more of a peaceful warrior. Either one. Now pull that Uddiyana Bandha, belly in and up. Come back to Warrior 2. Let's move into extended side angle by reaching forward, letting that front arm come down, back arm comes up and over. We've got this long line of energy from our fingertips down or in a bind. All right, let's come back to that Warrior 2. Let's straighten that front leg to reverse triangle. Now let's leave our legs in triangle as we bring our arms parallel and reach to regular triangle, okay? We're gonna reach, we're sending that back hip out and we're coming on down, arm to shin, arm to the floor, arm to a block. Joints are stacked, and make sure that if you're finding yourself gazing down too far to the earth, just peel those shoulders open, all right? Awesome. Now, pull that belly in and up. Engage that Uddiyana Bandha. Push into the back foot. Come back to that Warrior 2. Let's let those shoulders and arms come down. Let's bring our feet parallel, okay? Preparing for a wide leg forward fold. Let's go ahead and bring our arms out in front of us. And let's go ahead and bring them around and back. Interlacing our hands, if that's comfortable, rolling those shoulders down and back, like we've done in so many poses today, opening that heart. And feet are parallel right now, or slightly pigeon-toed. When we're ready, we're going to hinge at the hips, fold forward. If you prefer, go ahead and release those hands. Otherwise, you're welcome as you slowly roll down to let those arms come with you. Well, either way, your arms are going to go with you, I'm guessing. But keeping your hands folded. Or release them to the ground, all right? Now we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So, if you wish to maybe widen your stance a little bit, and you want to come a little lower, you want to walk your hands through your legs. You want to wrap your hands around your ankles, maybe to your head to a block, whichever you prefer, all right? Don't let those legs lock up too much, those knees. And let's just breathe. Shake that head yes to release it. We'll be here about 10 more breaths. Keep inhaling and exhaling. Come back to your breath right now.
Now wherever your hands are, go ahead and place them in front of your face, under your face, okay? And we are just going to slowly move up to that halfway lift point. Our hands are still on the floor, okay? Let me back up on my mat a little bit. All right, so your hands are on the floor. Come up into that nice, strong half lift. Now either palm or your fingertips, your left hand on the floor, right arm is going to open up for that twist. And release that down. Let's open up to the other side. And release that down. One more twist on each side. Release. Last one. Release. Awesome. Now, let's just slowly roll up. Let those arms hang long. Make sure you have a good bend in those knees. Roll up. Bringing those shoulders down and back. Awesome. All right. Now, let's go ahead and really slowly, intentionally, we are going to heel toe. Activate those muscles in your feet as you heel toe all the way in. Ta-da! Oh, we could be in Tadasana. Ta-da! Tadasana. All right, let's go more towards the front of our mat. Let's inhale into that tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Last forward fold. So wiggle any way you wish. Inhale, half lift, any version. As long as we've got that long spine, right? Exhale, fold. Let's go ahead and plant our hands and step back on our knees. We're just going to swing our feet around, swing our hips around, and come to seated. So whatever is your most comfortable way to come to seated. All right? So I'm going to show you this way. All right. So we're going to have our left leg long. Okay? Find that long spine. We've got those sit bones ground in. Sometimes we move away that little fleshy part. Okay? Legs are long. We are going to do a seated forward fold. Now, go ahead and start with a little bend in your knees, all right? And we are going to inhale those arms up high. And we are going to keep this long spine as we hinge at the hips. And we bring our heart closer to our legs, all right? Now, you may choose to straighten your legs, but we're keeping a pretty straight back right now, all right? So we're not going into that complete forward fold right yet. We've got more of a straight back. Awesome. Now, let that head drop down, all right? Just now you can round that spine, let the head drop down. And let's go ahead and roll back up. Now, while we're here, go ahead and bend that right leg, okay, bringing that knee towards your chest. All right. That left arm is going to wrap around that right knee. That right arm is going to inhale high, open up, and we're just coming into sage twist, okay? So we've got a seated twist going on. Sorry, my back's too right now. And just like we do in our opening with our twist, as you inhale, find length in that spine. And as you exhale, release that spine and find that length. All right, let's come back to center. Let's let that leg go long, and let's bring our left leg towards our chest. Excuse me. Go ahead and wrap that left leg with the opposite arm. Okay. Inhale that left arm up, and it is just going to open to the back for a little twist. It's funny how every
every twist varies just a touch, and you get maybe a different feeling in each one. All right, let's release that center. From here, let's move into just a little boat rowing, okay? So bend those knees, feet are on the floor. Sit bones are rounded, spine is long, shoulders are down. When you're ready, go ahead and grab under your thighs, under your knees. And then tiptoe, walking back just a little bit with those toes. And then choose to lift one or the other or both. But whichever we do, we're keeping this upper spine really long. Belly is pulled in. Keeping that contact with the sit bones and the tailbone. And then if you wish, go ahead and open. Oop, I started rolling back. Your arms, or keep them underneath, whatever you prefer, at heart center maybe. All right, let's release that down. Let's just fold those knees whichever way you prefer, and we're just gonna forward fold, forward. Forward fold, forward. It's like a forward fold squared, isn't it? Something. All right, let's roll on up for one more boat. Find that long spine, pull that belly in, and when you're ready, tip back, maybe lifting one leg or the other. Again, hands out to the side, at heart center, whichever you prefer. For 3, 2, 1. Now if you can remember, when you come into this next forward fold, cross your legs in the opposite direction of what you normally do. Okay, you feel that great hip opener in this pose. Fantastic. Let's come back to center. Once again, extend our legs long. We are going to be rolling down, so adjust yourself on the mat so you don't run out of mat. All right? Let's inhale those arms up in front of us long. Go ahead, clasp those hands together. Here's our church, here's our steeple. Let's find that steeple. Pull that belly in. And as you do, you're going to slowly roll down. Again, option is always to bend your legs, bend your knees as you roll down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And then when you come down, go ahead and find that full body stretch. One of the best parts ever, right? Find that length. All right, and let's bring those hands back by our side. Okay. From here, let's bend our knees. And we're going to just do one little bridge. Our chin is tucked. Feet are on the floor, palms are on the floor. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, we are going to begin to lift those hips off the ground in that bridge position. We're pushing in to the palms, we're pushing into our feet, strengthening that back. If you're seated in a chair, think about our cow pose right now. That's really, you can grab the back of the chair and do that cow pose and get that deep back bend. Now let's slowly release that down. And let's bring those knees to the chest. A little rocking side to side. All right, let's put those feet back in bridge position. We are going to do pigeon. So go ahead, extend that right leg to the sky. Roll that ankle out, one direction, the other. All right, now let's point and flex. And now we bring that ankle over to cross, right below that knee. Now, if you wish, you can go ahead and just gently push that right thigh away from you a little bit to feel it in that hip flexor. Stay here for as long as you like. Or when you're ready, go ahead and thread the needle, reaching through to grab that left leg, bringing it back for pigeon.
stay here for a few breaths, okay? Breathing. You know, I used to, whenever I took yoga classes, Jessica and Andrea would vouch for this. I swear, whenever they would say, keep breathing, I was holding my breath. And I'd always think, how do they know that I'm holding my breath? Then I realized maybe a lot of us were just holding our breath. So there you go, I don't know. All right, now let's slowly release that left leg down. Let's untwist, okay? We're gonna heel toe our feet to the edges of the mat, and let's just windshield wiper by letting those knees fall open to one direction, then the other. We'll just go a couple on each side, and then we'll prepare for pigeon on our other side. Awesome. All right, get those feet in bridge position. We're gonna extend that left leg long to the sky. And when you get it long to the sky, go ahead and roll that ankle one direction, the other direction. Then point and flex. And now we bring the pièce de resistance. We bring that ankle down to cross into that figure four. If you wish to go ahead and push that left thigh away from you gently, you can do that. Otherwise, when you're ready, go right ahead and thread the needle carefully, capturing that right leg and pulling it back towards you. No hurry, obviously. When you have threaded the needle, if you so choose, you actually can keep your, let's see, your left elbow on your bent left leg and push that leg away while you're pulling your right leg towards you. It sounds like one of those like puzzles you have to put together. Makes more sense in person, I think, or when you can see it. All right, a few more breaths. Really try to release that hip a little bit. All right, let's slowly unwind. And go ahead and bring those knees to the chest, okay? Roll side to side a little bit. And then we are going to slowly just reach through, grab either the inside of our feet or the outside of our feet for a little happy baby. Okay, happy baby or dead bug. We're keeping that spine and that neck long. So you can either stay in the dead bug, or maybe you want to straighten one leg, moving side to side. Oof. As long as you don't put your foot through the buffet window. All right, now let's bring those knees to the chest once more. Curl up into that tight ball, and then release. Whoosh. It's like whoosh. Release that energy long, okay? Maybe nuzzle those shoulder blades under a little bit to open up that heart as you lay in your Shavasana position. Feel free to close your eyes for a moment or two. We'll just be here for a teeny bit today. Feel your shoulders melt towards the mat. Your neck is long. Your legs are heavy and just kind of melting into the mat. And take some nice deep breaths. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling completely. Inhaling deeply
exhaling completely. And one more, inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Now we're going to bring those feet back up into that bridge position. Come over onto our side and carefully lift ourselves back up. Or if you prefer to stay in Shavasana a lot longer, that's awesome. Feel free to do that, okay? If you are seated, go ahead and roll those shoulders a little bit. And let's inhale those arms up high. On the exhale, let's bring them through heart center. Remembering that faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. The light in me appreciates, honors, and is lifted by the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.